make sure my mic is working. God. Oh, yeah. Gotta check my mic. Guys, I'm wearing my mic this morning as I'm driving, into Manhattan. Still on Route 17, passing the Rumba Cubana, and soon Greg Street in Lodi. Now, last night I did miss Anderson Henderson's live stream because he decided to go on so late. So late, Anderson. Anderson reached out to me. Anderson, I could have helped out with the show last night. I could have got you guests. I don't know if Anderson notices this, but every single time I'm not around, no one shows up. Anderson, no one shows up. I mean, on panel. So anyway, by popular demand, people want to hear the Michelle K audio. I got a better quality of it. So, guys,
Danny's fucking parents, because they're 90 years old. The father can have a fucking heart attack.
Michelle, last night, do you remember you were doing a lot of fighting and stuff with Seasons? Now, what happened there?
She's a little fucking bitch. And now I'm hearing that David said that, that they're actually stalking when Danny comes over here. It's like, what the fuck? Because I know I didn't put that on Facebook because I checked my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't put him on Facebook at all because he doesn't want anyone to find him at all. And then they said that David Baldo or somebody said that he's on the dark web.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the fucking dark web was.
all right, do you realize that she really went to the cops over this? Like, she actually called the cops. She told her father. She went to the cops. I don't blame her father for being like, Michelle. Like, he can't explain it to her in any other way. But Michelle, these people are idiots. Like, you don't get it, Michelle. Poor parents. But it is very funny when her father comes in and starts yelling at her. And then he actually yells at her at the end too, which is pretty funny. But I had to cut that out because the clips, I can only upload clips 10 minutes long. So I think StreamYards has to get on that. They gave you this new option in StreamYards where you can like upload like 10 things at a time or something like that. If you can do that, then I'm pretty sure you can get something that will, or you can make it so that I can upload something over 10 minutes long. Because this is a 15-minute clip. This is a 15 fucking minute clip. Gotta get a freaking oil change soon. I gotta get an oil change like now. It says change oil soon, but I'm at 16,000 miles already in this car. I don't know when I got this car, but a couple months ago. 16,000 miles in this car already. I basically drove. I basically drove from California back down to Florida back, all over the place. I've circled this country like 10 times already. Fucking insane. Oh man. 37 degrees. It didn't feel like 37 when I got up. And of course, I'm wearing my signature ripped jeans where the knees are ripped. and I didn't buy them like that. That's just from hard work. Let's see if I can reset this. Oh, there you go. Reset. Now, all the people who are watching this that can't get out of bed, that if they do get out of bed, it's a fucking nightmare. It's a living hell. Just remember this. Just remember this. When I'm driving to work, right, I have I have this anxious feeling in my stomach. You know, like what are they going to throw on me today? What are they going to do this? What are they gonna, what's going to, am I going to lose my job today? Am I going to, at least you don't have to go through that. Most of these people who are in bed, suffering and dying, they don't really have much to worry about except death. I'm telling you something right now. For all you people who are laying there dying right now, watching this live stream, you know, at least you don't have to, you know, deal with bills. I mean, who cares? Just run up the biggest fucking check you can or bill you can. It's not like they're gonna get you're ever gonna pay it off. Who cares? And that's why I think John Camillo is living high as a hog right now because John Camillo went to the doctor. I don't know if you guys know this, and got very bad news a couple months ago. And I told him, I said, John, get a bunch of credit cards, run them up, never pay them back. Never. They're never going to get it, John. Never going to get it. Oh, and put your daughter's name on the house because John has to live another 5 years before they can even. It's well, I think the house has to be under John's daughter's name for 5 years. I think it is. Good morning, Jasmine. How are you? Jasmine, it's 37 degrees. 37. I got 3/4 of a tank of gas, 3/4 full, heading into work, Jasmine. Sipping on a 7-Eleven coffee. Smoking premium hand rolled cigarettes with filters. Mm. I got $13 cash in my pocket. Heading into the biggest city and the greatest city in the world, New York City. This sounds like a typical immigrant story. Woo! Sun's coming up over Manhattan, guys, right now. So hopefully, by the time we get there, I'm fucking 6 already. There's one thing you guys don't see. I'm surprised. I really hate this camera, but there's this big Ferris wheel in front. You guys can't even see it. There's this Ferris wheel at that American Dream Mall, which I refuse to go to. In fact, if there were fans that paid me to go there, I would not go there. That's a fucking nightmare. Just the parking alone, getting inside the place, then getting lost in there. I mean, I drove around that place one morning, no traffic, and friggin' got lost in the parking lot. That's how big this place is. Humongous. 51 here, headed to work. Also, just listening to the morning show. Great, Jasmine. Have a great day. I hope. Whatever happened to the Melton thing? Did you guys settle that, or did someone go talk to him? So all of a sudden, like, people stop talking about that. It's like Melton dropped off the face of the earth. No one's even talking about him. I don't even know if he's been live, but because I'm sub to his channel. I think Melton's got quality talk when he's not threatening people, but he's got quality talk. You can have an interesting conversation with Melton when he's not threatening people. Yeah, exactly. Melton, who, right? I think that's the way it should be dealt with. With everyone, even this pet robot. Just don't bring him up anymore. He'll slowly disappear. Slowly disappear. Rot away. Hey, Gizzarella, what's up? Violator. But that is the best way to deal with these people. Just don't talk about it. And they disappear. Not only do they disappear from your life, but they disappear from YouTube. There's only one person that hasn't disappeared, and that's Craig. I know people. You guys probably forgot about it, but I have. I was thinking, what the fuck is he doing? I hope he's all right. I mean, in his situation, in Craig's situation, there was only one way to go, and that was up. You know, I don't think you could have went much lower than that. Oh my God! Yesterday, guys, I forgot to tell you. Um, this is what creeps me out. Remember that guy Irish Mike that I met in Brooklyn, and he was asking me for a ride back to Fairlawn? Well, I was reading in the paper that some guy in Fairlawn committed suicide by lawnmower yesterday. Lawnmower. The brother found him in the backyard, and I don't think it was a big lawnmower. It was like a because they said it had a throttle on it, and he put some rocks there. He wedged some rocks there so that I think the way they described it was he took the lawnmower, he turned it over so the blades were exposed, and he just shoved his head in there. Go check it out, guys. Suicide in Fairlawn, New Jersey. Suicide in Fairlawn, New Jersey. Oh God! Can you imagine finding that? The cop said that the head was still attached to the body. They did not take the head off. But suicide in Fairlawn, New Jersey. And you know what? I was thinking about that. I was like, he couldn't have been the only person to ever think of that. And I think it says a lot about a person when like when you find out how someone kills themselves, right? Like I had a friend, his father ended his own life, and the way he did it was pretty typical. You know, in the garage, hanging, and I was like, all right, well, that's because they have to think about this. Like, is it going to be a mess, whatever? And they know someone's going to find them. I remember my friend trying to get into the garage. The cops were like, no, you're not going. At least that's what he told me. I remember we had to go back to the house, clean out the garage, get everything out of there. And I remember thinking, being in the garage was like, for such a terrible thing to happen, such a dramatic, such an important thing to happen. Like, I mean, important in a way where it just changed this guy's life forever. It ended a life and changed someone's life forever. Not only his, but his whole family. It's still a garage. There's nothing there. It's just there's no. It's just a dead garage. I don't know. No, I feel really bad about saying that. But that's how I felt. Yeah, 33 years old. Damn. I had a landlord that hung himself pretty crazy. Johnny what lived with this guy in Riverville for a while, right? This kid Lenny, and Lenny had this humongous pit bull, and Lenny took very good care of this dog. Very good pit bull owner. Like there's a lot of terrible pit bull owners out there, but Lenny, you'd always see Lenny walking this dog. Always gave this dog attention. So one morning, Lenny decides to take the dog for a walk before he goes to work. And as he's walking, he's smoking some weed, enjoying the morning, and he looks over to his right and he sees this guy hanging from a tree. Hanging from a fucking tree. And he said he ran out there and tried lifting the guy up because he didn't know, he thought it just happened. The guy had already been there. I think he did it that night. And I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if that tree's still there. Because if I was the owner of that property, I would not want that tree on my property. Especially if that was a family member. I would cut down that tree right away. Newsbreak.com says he was troubled. He was a troubled man. Wait, what is that? What does that mean, violator? He was troubled? Yeah. He was a troubled man. All right. Fuck, but still. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine me like, I need out so bad right now. So bad. I'm gonna throw my head through a fucking lawnmower. Can you imagine that? I mean, I can't even imagine the hanging thing, but like, fuck. Yeah, troubled man. Maybe schizophrenic. Well, to be honest, Irish Mike, very troubled. He was in the hospital. He just got out of the hospital. They had him in a psych ward. Why can't they just say he was crazy? Trouble. Everybody's troubled. I'm troubled. Some of us are troubled, and some of us are troubled. Nasty accident on Knickerbocker Road at Columbus Drive. Really? To this morning? Oh, you mean the Tenafly boys? You want to know the truth behind that? They don't tell you this because Tenafly is a very affluent neighborhood. It borders like Englewood and fucking like the nice parts of Englewood and Alpine. It's a very very well-to-do area. And when you hear about these 19-year-old kids crashing in the trees and driving, it's because I'm telling you right now, it's because their parents buy them these goddamn fucking like Lamborghinis, and they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that they're crashing in these like fucking like you know $300,000 sports cars. Yeah, they don't tell you that shit. Like you drive through that town, Violator. I swear to God, you'll see like a teenager in a McLaren or something like that. Not even kidding. Like Like those kids won the lottery. Those kids won the lottery, and it kind of sucks for that kid because he just got to learn to like he just starting to learn how lucky he was. You know, he had life by the balls. This kid. And I was talking to Johnny What at the dinner table last night. Where I was listening to some Kyle Rittenhouse trial bullshit, right? And John's like, that kid had a fucking AR. I'm like, yeah. He goes, dude, that's fucked up. I'm like, dude, we do it every day in this country. We give fucking kids fucking M16s, M4s, and ship them off to another country to go kill people. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You could join the military at 17 years old. All right, you can go legally kill another human being at the age of 17 years old. You guys realize that? Do you realize that? And again, shame on Geraldo Rivera. Quote, quote, Kyle Rittenhouse was just a dopey kid with a hero complex. Well, you know what? This was just after fucking oh God's ass for it. This was just after Veterans Day or whatever the fuck it is. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, that's every fucking Marine ever. That's every fucking um, person that ever joined the military ever. These people that we're supposed to hold in such high regards. Every kid that aspires to be anything is just a dopey kid with a hero complex. I mean, think about it. What are kids? What do you not want the kids to want to believe that one day they could become president or an astronaut or a doctor? Fucking Geraldo Rivera. What a fucking dude. And I don't know if you guys paid close attention to this trial, but they did bring up the ammunition. And I remember I told you this. I told you this a while ago. When they want to get you for something, they'll try to find intent on everything. Like, for instance, they'll say, "Why did you buy the gun?" "Oh, you got bullets? Why did you buy the bullets? What kind of bullets are they?" And they even tried the hollow point thing. So he had hollow point. They were trying to say that he intended to cause massive damage by buying those. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you something right now. All right. And I would never say this during a trial. Never say this during a trial. But the only reason why you are legally allowed to own any firearms constitutionally is to destroy anything that wants to take away your constitutional rights, and that's life. That includes your life. Okay? And you can't explain that in a court of law, right? Because you got jurors there with stupid opinions, all right, that don't even know fucking the law. But that's the truth. That is the only reason, as Americans, you are allowed legally to own any firearm or any arm whatsoever. You can even assemble. You can even assemble your own army. Which he legally did. That night, he was technically part of a militia. And you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. this. Pass. Do firearms do fire do firearms made from a 3D printer last long? I don't know. You know what? That's a good question, Giselle Sticks, because they have never tested that. I don't. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because it took a while for people to try to get that whole polymer thing squared away. Um, when those polymer guns first came out in like I think like the 70s, they had. I mean, polymer has been around for a long time. Polymer guns. I think even the 60s this was a thing. But I guess they had the polymer was cracking. I don't know what kind of fucking shit they used to build these 3D guns. You got to remember, the only thing that's 3D printed is the frame. It's not the barrel isn't printed. You know, I don't think the slide is either. The bolt isn't printed. Yeah, Violator. I've seen some YouTube videos where these guys will test and they break in half. So I don't know. Is there a way to do it? I'm sure. I'm sure there's a correct way to do it. I think everyone's missing the point about 3D printing. And you could make things that might last a couple shots, but the one thing that I think they're forgetting, you can make these drop-in auto sears very, very quick. Drop-in auto sears is what they should be talking. Oh, I mean that not the gun, not the gun, not the gun. All right, the gun's bullshit. You want to talk about real fucked up terrorism shit. You got to remember these people can make these little tiny drop-in auto sears and go on a rampage. Go on a rampage. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. I mean, you guys want to scream about bump stocks. That's nothing. First of all, I don't think that guy had bump stocks on his fucking guns. There's no way. If anyone who's ever used a bump stock would tell you, no, that's definitely not what happened up there. That's definitely not what happened up there. Well, you know what? That Liverpool terror attack kind of looked like some pussy shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was probably a couple of Albanians that were drunk or something like that. Violator. I don't know. Of course, that was like no fucking Oklahoma City bombing. You know, it reminded me of like those pussy Irish car bombs from the late '70s, early '80s. But I mean, think about it. If that guy, the guy in the mandolin or the Mandalay Bay or whatever the fuck it was, whatever his name was, if he was gonna go through the hassle, right, of fucking putting bump stocks on all of his rifles, and you got to remember, it's not like you just like slap them on. You got to take it apart. You got to put it back together. You got to fucking make sure that it works. Where blah 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 blah. Instead of that, he could have just got a coat hanger, right? Bent it a couple times and dropped it in his rifles, and he would have had fucking machine guns. And that's the truth. his father was FBI. Really? Well, when people say they're in the FBI, you don't know what they're in the FBI for. They could be accountants. My neighbor's in the FBI. He's an accountant. You know what I mean? I befriended a older retired FBI agent, and this guy used to come down to the firing line. I don't think he was retired. I think he was sent down there to go find out, because at the time we had the ATF down there all the time. I had the ATF calling my house. I was like 20, 23, 24, and they were calling my house. It was fucking crazy. And I remember the woman's name was Jennifer. The ATF agent was Jennifer, and I knew Jennifer from the firing line. She was down there all the time. And I said, Jennifer, I was like, you can't call my house anymore. You know, Jennifer was cute. She was a nice woman, older than me, beautiful woman. And I said, Jennifer, I'm 23 years old, and my parents are freaking out because the ATF's calling my house. And she goes, well, we just need to know about this, 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 this. I'm like, well, Jennifer, don't call my house anymore. I'll come down, meet me at the firing line. They were always down there. They were always down there. They were down there for like a full year, like 3 days a week, looking at this guy, going through all his records. Oh, hold on for a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, again, Jennifer's calling my house. So I told Jennifer, I said, listen, you can't be calling my house. So I think once you say that to them, they leave you alone. But then all of a sudden, this guy, what the fuck was his name? He looked like an actor too, like one of those Drew. Anyway, I forgot. He became very good friends with me. This guy would come down, he would talk shit with me. Hey, buddy, what's up? Blah blah. Then he got my phone number, and he started calling me every night, asking me questions. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. And then that's when I befriended the retired FBI agent. He told me all these bizarre stories about about actually catching a Soviet spy in Tenafly, New Jersey, in the 80s. And he told me how they did it, and they told me where they did it. And this is, I don't even know if this was legal for him to tell me, but he told me this. And you want to know an interesting fact? Interesting fact. Maybe this guy's going to kill me if I tell you. And I think he's still alive because I still see him driving around every once in a while. And now he doesn't wave to me, by the way, now that I'm not working at this place. But I'm not going to tell you his name, who he's related to. Because if I told you, then they would know. And he would know that I was saying this. But he was related. No, okay. Anyway, he told me that there were two. I think they weren't Russians. There was something else, or they came in as something else. They were artists. They came in on student visas, right? And they were living, I believe, in Tenafly, New Jersey. And they followed these guys around. They were going to some college, taking art courses and all this stuff. And every weekend they would go down this reservoir. And this was back at the time where you can actually go on the reservoir properties. And actually, I guess you could go fishing and all this stuff. Now you can't do that. And they would sit there and paint. They would sit there and paint. And they couldn't figure out what the fuck they were doing. Then they knew these guys were up to something, They knew these guys were fucked up. They knew that they were Soviet spies. They knew it. So they knew that every morning before they would go to the reservoir, they would meet up at the Tenafly Diner. Oh shit! So they knew every morning they'd meet up at the Tenafly Diner before they went out and did their paintings. So they contacted Tenafly Diner and said, "Listen, we're going to send some agents over there, and you're going to basically shut down the diner. Not going to let anyone in. It's our agents." So they had all these agents sitting in this diner pretending like they were customers, and he goes, "These guys sit down, they order their food, they lock the doors, they close the blinds, and all this shit." And the guys knew what was up. He said the look on their faces, they were just like, "Ah, fuck." So they all sit down. They say, "Listen, we know what's going on. Tell us what's going on. No, we won't throw you in prison. We'll give you citizenship, and you can go on living, whatever, doing whatever." So they said, "Okay." During the 1980s, this is how crazy, the Cold War was, and how dangerous the Cold War was, and how the FBI, knowing this, that there isn't a possibility of this ever happening with terrorism. Right? They told them that they were sent there, and there was a lot of these guys sent out throughout the country as artists. They were sent there to paint. They weren't really painting, but they were mapping out reservoirs and places where the water ran to and all this stuff, because in the 80s the Soviets were actually planning on poisoning water supplies in the United States. Do you believe that? So the Soviets sent these artists to the United States to fucking paint the reservoirs and all the water systems or waterways. This is what this guy told me. I was like, oh my god. No wonder why everybody hated each other back then. They were trying to poison our water. Well, I'm getting a text right now. And this is what bothers me about the pandemic. The pandemic, right? I remember seeing all this shit about the pandemic 10 years ago on Discovery Channel. They were warning about this shit. You're telling me that they had no fucking clue that this was going to happen, or if there wasn't a possibility? This is craziness. Hmm. And then, of course, the 2 years that I was hired by Homeland Security, you know, that was a real eye opener too. If they want to get anything on you, they don't have to do it legally. I mean, they'll do it legally. They'll do it legally. And the Patriot Act was already a thing. Um, but here's the thing: they told us, or they told me, or us, company, they said, "Listen, technically, if we find anything with these people, um, we need to do everything the right way, and the right way is to hire you as a contractor, right? And the party that we're looking at hired you to do something for them, but after you're done doing it for them, you can do whatever you want with it, and we're asking you to hand it over to us for 2 years, 2 fucking years." Hey, Seasons, what's up? Were you really Homeland Security? Yeah. Gisarella, I'm telling you the truth. There were North Korean diplomats that lived in Alpine, New Jersey in the early 2000s. All right, the early 2000s, and they lived in a house, a rental, right? They lived in a rental house, um, and for 2 years, we would take their garbage, separate it, we'd put it in a special bin. We'd drive it to Bergenfield, New Jersey, and we would put it in a yellow bin for 2 fucking years. 2 years. And these guys, it was always three. It was always three cars, and they were Pontiac Bonnevilles. I'm not even joking about this. Like, not even like nice Bonnevilles. They were like beat, like they looked like they came out of Newark. Now I believe that's actually where they came out. It looked like a fucking, it had a car aerial on it too, and the windows were tinted in a way where like it looked like a bunch of Puerto Rican guys decked out these cars. I swear to God. Swear to God. Three cars would show up. One of them would put the yellow. It was a yellow fucking maybe 20-gallon container, 30-gallon container with a lock on it, like a padlock. And they would come there. They would look inside of it. They would lock it up. Right, three cars. Sometimes there was four people there. Put it in the back of this fucking Bonneville, right, and they would take off. I mean, if you think we were the only ones that they had doing this to these people, you're crazy. I bet you the postman was in on it, and the water guy, whoever was doing fucking, anybody. Well, they weren't Asians in yellow cars. It was this yellow container. Maybe you know what? I never thought about that. That's funny. I always found it strange that it was yellow. Because normally garbage cans, being a garbage man, they're never yellow. They're always usually fucking green or black. I never thought about that. I mean, I knew it was strange. I knew it stuck out. I was like, oh, maybe it's the thing. So like, they know where it is all the time. You can't lose it. But it was yellow. So if you guys ever see a yellow trash container, be very, very skeptical. I'm telling you right now. And here's the thing. Gisarella. I've been talking about this for a few years now, and no one's ever told me thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I actually went to that fucking scumbag Iron Dog, and I demanded that he thank me for my service for 2 fucking years. I don't know what these people could have done. Who are these fucking people? And this was before the chemical attack on Kim Jong Un's brother, where they smashed the fucking poison in his face. Thank you, Gisarella. You're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Actually, there was one time I was really, really nervous, and I've never told anyone about this, but They came out one day with a carton of Marlboro Lights for us. I remember looking at it and be like, "Oh, thank you." And I'm, I love cigarettes. I threw that shit right in the garbage, right in the fucking garbage. Like, I don't trust you, Cocos. And that's what we used to call them. We'd say, "Go to the Cocoa House." That was code word for Korean. Korean. Hmm. And listen, all these people, like, it's their job to like fucking like sneak around and do this shit. You guys got to realize that it's not like they have another job, they don't have time. This is what they do. They find sneaky ways to fucking spy on you. I'm telling you, you should have given them to Michelle K. Well, this was before I even knew Michelle K. And Michelle K will not smoke Marlboro Lights. I wonder what would happen if I got Michelle K a pack of Marlboro Lights. But I'm being serious, guys. I served my country for 2 years. 2 fucking years. Think about that. And not as a fucking like helicopter mechanic or a chef or whatever. I was a legit spy. I was a legit spy. How many people do you know that have actually done something like that? No one. You don't know anyone who's done it. I've done that. You want to know why? Because I have no fear. I have no fucking fear whatsoever. And I do the right thing. I do the right thing. I remember asking him, like, wait, why are we doing this? And he goes, oh, it's for the safety of America, the safety of your neighbors. And they actually took me down the street to a playground. And they sat me down at the playground. And they started saying, like, oh, Dave, hey, how old are you? I said, I'm like 24, sir. He goes, these kids, these kids are having a great time over here. Don't you want to see them live to see 24 years old? I said, yeah, I guess so. They're like, this is why you're doing this, Dave. This is why you're doing it. And then the agent lit up a cigarette. He goes, you want one? I said, no, thank you, sir. And he looked at me and smiled and he said, listen, we'll be in touch. And he gave me his card and he left. And I looked back and he was gone. He was gone. He like disappeared. Dude, come on, those SEALs didn't kill Bin Laden on an empty stomach. Yeah, Giselle, you ever hear the story about that? About how like those guys? I think they originally they were never told. I don't know if they were actually told, but they were told that I think like 3/4 of them might die or something. It was something weird. Anyway, they were told to write. They were all told to write their family members like goodbye letters. Now, that's crazy. Imagine that. And I still remember the agent's name. I remember his last name. He never. I don't think I remember his first name, but I remember his last name because it was such a weird last name, very bizarre last name. I think I've repeated it here before. I definitely repeated it here before. But that's how they do it. That's how they do it. Uh, and as a kid, you know, I remember I remember the FBI coming after my father. As a kid, I remember that, and I remember the phones. I remember being on the phone and hearing conversations down the street. Like they had the phones tapped at the house. I would hear, I could pick up the phone and I could hear my cousin down the street talking. And it wasn't just like, it wasn't um, just people down, it was like my cousins. Like they tapped all their phones. Yes, Dorian, I know. It was amazing. 650. I remember my father being so angry at these people too. So angry. And he goes, don't ever trust these people. They're not your friends. They're trying to put your father in jail. I remember that. I wasn't young, but I was old enough to know. I think I was like 9 years old, maybe 8. And my dad had the guy's card on all the time. It was so funny. He'd show it to everyone. He'd be like, look at this loser, and he'd whip out the FBI agent's card. Oh man. Oh man. That was that was like in the 80s. That was in the 80s when like wiretapping was like, like state of the art. At least that's what they told you. I remember someone shot our dog. I remember bricks being thrown through our windows. You know, the 80s were rough, man. I'm telling you. I remember him telling the story when I was a kid. Yeah. He goes, Dave, you know what they said to me? They asked me a couple questions. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And they said, well, when you remember, give us a call. My dad held on to that card for a very long time. He probably still has it. These people, telling you right now, they're not your friends. The FBI is not your friend. None of these people. Their intent is to find intent. Um, what were your intentions so that they can lock you up? I think it had something to do. Actually, I know what it had to do with. There were a couple cop cars that exploded, and I think they thought my father had something to do with it or something. I don't know. At least that's what he told us. Oh, you never talk to these people ever. They're not there to be nice to you. They're there to use every bit of information against you. That's why I say, you know, with these live streams, this is all the comedy show. Uh, people people always ask me like, "Oh, why are you always going to the police? Why you cover my ass?" I know what these people will do. If you don't cover your ass, they'll come at you later and say, "Oh, hey, how are you? My name's so and so. My name's Special Agent so and so. You remember this?" I'll be like, "No, I don't remember it." I'm going to tell you something right now. There were things that happened a couple years ago. People bring up, and I'm like, I don't remember that. I really don't. There's so many things happening in my life. That's something that I really don't remember. I mean, if I said it, I'll take your word for it. But you know, if it comes down to any kind of legal shit, no, if I don't remember saying it, I never said it. I mean, imagine if your phones were tapped when you were kids. What would you think? And this isn't me being like like a tin foil wearing hat or aluminum foil wearing hat, fucking crazy person. This really happened, guys. This really happened. There's some things that I've done to cover my ass. I don't even tell you guys about. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for someone to try something. The more complicated you make things, you know. Let me see where this goes. Hey, baby, where'd you get that jacket? Your wife get it for? Your wife get it for you? Really? Maybe two, maybe three. No, he went to the cheap place down the street. All right. All right. Thank you. Barrett Brown. I don't know who Barrett Brown is. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I left all my stuff in the shanty. The FBI leaked all the anonymous leaks, and I don't know what the hell that is. Hold on. Let me get my shit on. It's 39. It's not bad. It's not that cold, dude. This guy talking about, man. Hold on, guys. Hey, nice, nice. Look. Let's get out of here. Owl Kitty, and check Owl Kitty. What are you talking? Are these YouTubers? Violator? Well, there used to be there was an FBI agent here for a while. I don't know if you remember Rick Reese. Rick Reese. He was an FBI agent. I don't know if you remember him. Uh, and the reason why I know is because I had this guy checked out, and because I do have friends in the FBI, and they told me, they confirmed it, that he was an agent. Oh, yeah. I guess it is kind of chilly out. Only wearing, just let me put my hoodie up because it's kind of chilly. Woo! All right. You know what? I'm gonna listen to the Michelle K stuff, and then I think I'm gonna end it. But because I got to run into this place, I don't have time to hang out.
Danny's fucking parents, because they're 90 years old. The father can have a fucking heart attack.
Michelle, last night, do you remember you were doing a lot of fighting and stuff with Seasons? Now, what happened there?
She a little fucking bitch, and now I'm hearing that David said that, that they're actually stalking when Danny comes over here. It's like, what the fuck? Because I know I didn't put that on Facebook because I checked my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't put him on Facebook at all because he doesn't want anyone to find him at all. And then they said that even Baldo or somebody said that he's on the dark web.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the fucking dark web was. So I asked my friend Tom. I told Tom that this was going on in his profile picture and everything. And Tom's like, yeah, it's something like if he's doing something illegal and he's not. What the fuck?
Oh, so basically, what I think this is what happened. Noodles has been stalking Danny, okay, and he's been taking pictures of him while he's at work, while he's at the gas station. That one you saw was only one of the pictures that Noodles has taken of Danny. He's got a whole bunch of them.
What the fuck?
This has been going on apparently for a couple of months, and Noodles and Seasons planned it out, and they've been doing this. I just found out about it, or else I would have told you.
I didn't know Seasons lived in Ramsey, honey.
Yeah.
She lives in Ramsey.
Right.
What's her fucking address in Ramsey?
I don't know if I don't know that, but I could try to get it for you.
Okay, because I want the accurate, because I think David's just fooling around and not giving me the right address.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think with all these pictures that David's taken of Danny, I think he's developed maybe even a crush on Danny, and now he's trying to like.
Danny will kill him.
What if he tries to? What if Noodles tries to put chloroform over Danny's mouth on a washcloth and then take advantage of Danny?
I won't have anyone. He's my best friend. Please, Anderson, make me stop.
I will, Michelle. We should go live about this and tell the public to get involved because Noodles is a bad guy.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry, Michelle. It's okay. It's all right. We're gonna get through this. It's okay. We're gonna fix this. Noodles is a bad guy. He's playing you. It's okay though. Hey, look, I'll make sure. I'll call Noodles.
Stroke, and anything bad happens, I'm gonna be on his head. Oh, this stupid shit. So he knows exactly where he lives and shit.
Oh, really?
Does he?
No, yeah, he does. He does. He's taking pictures of Danny. Michelle, listen. Noodles has pictures of Danny from when Danny was in his bedroom and he didn't know Noodles was outside. He took a picture through the window while Danny was in his bedroom naked.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. He showed me the picture and he said he might release it. Huh?
No, honey, Danny doesn't come over here naked.
No, he went to Danny. He's been stalking Danny at Danny's house.
He's been stalking Danny's house?
Yes.
Too?
Yes, you know how he parks outside your house sometimes? He does that to Danny now, and he takes pictures of him through the window sometimes. Michelle, he showed me, and one of them was of Danny naked.
Because Danny's not allowed in my parents' house because he's COVID antivirus too.
I know, he's not there. He goes to Danny's house to take pictures of Danny. Naked.
Wait, hold on, okay, honey? I'm gonna get Danny. Hold on, honey.
Okay.
Hold on, right?
All right.
Hold on, babe. What's up, man? Can you tell my dad about this thing? Please. Daddy? What is this? Are you there, honey?
Yeah.
Please tell him what's going on.
Well, basically, Danny, I think that this guy, David Boldo, has been following you around at work and at home, and he's been taking pictures of you.
But, yeah, no, this is my dad.
Right.
Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Anderson Henderson, all right? I'm a YouTube character.
Get out of here. I don't care. Get out. You are an asshole. You don't care. Listen to me. You don't care. No, Beaver called and checked out the pictures and Danny.
Well, he was here the other day and walking around giving you money.
No, but what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you sit there. You don't start the whole show. Yeah.
No.
And don't contact with him at all. Well, you better not.
No, please.
That'll be the end of it.
I
don't care. Don't have contact with him, and that'll be the end of it.
His house in his
I don't care. Stop contacting him and
no,
go away. Don't dry up like
His parents are 90 fucking years old. They don't
Give
need
her
this
that-
shit. They don't need this shit. I hate my parents. I mean my Aunt Kate. You're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. Go ahead. Fuck him.
Anyway, it'll be okay, Michelle. We'll get to the bottom of it, but
He's
Yeah.
gonna step up. We can't even fucking alone. I'm not talking to David fucking Baldo anymore. No, Anderson doesn't even like Anderson David anymore. Do you understand? Anderson doesn't even care about him anymore.
fuck David. He is a bad guy, but he is stalking Danny, and he's going to his house taking pictures of him and shit. It's getting weird.
Yeah. Fuck. Wait, hold on. Let me try to call Danny one more time, okay?
All right, try to call Danny.
Sorry, hold on. Let me.
All right.
Oh my. Nothing, huh?
Oh, he's not answering. Is Danny at work right now?
Yes, we heard.
All
Yeah,
right.
but he sometimes picks up.
Yeah.
I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm not even sleepy. I can't sleep.
I know.
can't. I
You-
can't.
So what happened with you and Seasons, though? I mean, are you all still fighting with each other? Why do you want
Yeah,
her
I mean,
address?
she's part of it. She's part of this.
Why do you
I
want
know
her
she's
address?
part of it. Because I want to know what the fuck is up for her.
What are you gonna do?
You
If
know what I mean?
Michelle, what are you gonna do if you get her address?
Tell the police officers.
Well, look, Michelle, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you can get her, I don't think I'll be able to get it, but if you can get it, don't
I
tell
can't
it.
get it,
Listen,
he's
Michelle,
telling me.
listen. If you can get her address, if you can get it to me,
Because I was
listen,
on his
listen to
bad.
what I'm saying. If you can get Season's address, okay? If you can give it to me, I can make her disappear if that's what you want. Nobody will ever
No,
know.
I don't want no one to disappear.
But I can,
No,
dude,
honey,
no one will
no.
know, and then David will not be with her anymore, and then maybe he'll give you more
No.
attention.
No, I don't want him either. He's a fucking stalker that's fucking with Danny.
But David actually is a really nice guy, and he cares about you, but I think the only reason why he's not with you is because of Seasons. I can remove her if you want.
No.
I can
no,
remove Seasons if you want.
No.
If
no,
just get her
no,
address, I'll remove this person,
no.
and then you can be with
No.
David, and everything will be fine. He already lives in the same area as you. He's basically there. He's basically your husband already.
She lives in Ramsey.
Ah, I know, but she does. But he lives with you, and if you can get her address, I will remove her. That's all it takes,
No.
Michelle. Come on, your dad's a cop. He can get the address, give it to me, and I'll go, and we'll take care of this.
No.
I'll
I
even
don't
take
wanna kill
Carmine
her.
with me to watch my back.
You're so cute. No, we don't want to kill anyone. Come on, don't be silly.
Well, I didn't say kill. I said remove. You said kill. I'll make sure she disappears. That's all I'm saying.
Were you gonna put her in California or somewhere?
Well, let's just say she'll be having some really fishy new friends.
No, let's not do that, sweetheart.